The Center for Disease Control has issued some advice for the elderly, which is probably some pretty good advice for pretty much everybody. Now, how you're going to do all this, well, I'm not sure. Get gloves, get masks, maybe, but we'll read this and then we'll discuss it. Stay home. Stock up on medicines and food. Don't touch elevator buttons or door handles in public, anyways. CDC orders the elderly and sick to take action to protect themselves against this thing going around the world. The Centers for Disease Control issued new advice for older people and those with heart disease, diabetes, and lung problems to protect against this thing going around the world. The Centers for Disease Control has ordered the elderly and sick to stock up on medications and avoid large crowds, cruise ships, and airplanes in order to protect themselves against this thing going around the world. The elderly and those with underlying health conditions should also avoid touching door handles, handrails, and elevator buttons in public areas, according to the advice on the CDC's website. Other advice includes stocking up enough medication and food to stay at home for a period of time. If this thing going around the world outbreak happens in your community, it could last for a long time, they warn. And really, this advice is good for everybody. Wash your hands, wear some gloves, carry some little sanitizing things. I got some of those wipes. Just basically clean yourself, clean your house. Wear gloves, doorknobs, coming out of the bathroom. If you don't have gloves, grab the paper towel after you've washed your hands. Wash your hands, grab the paper towel. Use the paper towel to open up the door handle. Hold your foot on the door to hold it open. Throw the paper towel away. If there's no trash can by the door there, open the door handle, and there's going to be a trash can somewhere, presumably, or someplace in public where there's a trash can. If there isn't, well, I'm sure you can find some place to throw your paper towel away at. The CDC issued the new advice for vulnerable people on Monday, stemming from an early study of 70,000 Chinese, this thing going around the world, patients. The advice is directed towards older people and those with serious underlying health conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and lung disease. But generally, that's good practice all around. I mean, stay clean, wash your hands. The avoiding hitting elevator buttons and things like that, I got you. It's a little bit hard to do that throughout the day. You might look a little funky wearing gloves all the time and things like that. Everybody might think maybe something's wrong with you. But you know what? Gauge yourself and use your own self-awareness and your own ideas. Me, okay, so maybe you carry something that, you know, just some tissue paper or something. You can take a piece of tissue paper on your thumb. And railings going downstairs, well, you're going to need gloves for that. Or wash your hands afterwards. Sanitize your hands afterwards. While the CDC does not specify what qualifies as an older person, it says the thing going around the world can be serious in those above 60 and most serious in those aged 80 or older. In order to protect themselves against the disease, vulnerable people should wash their hands thoroughly and often, avoid touching their face, and regularly clean high-touch surfaces in their own home. Yes. Clean. Tables, doorknobs, light switches, handles, desks, toilets, faucets, sinks, and cell phones should all be cleaned regularly, the CDC says. And your cell phone. Don't forget to clean your cell phone. I sanitized mine just the other day. You can get special wipes for it. I don't have special wipes, so I actually just use the same hand sanitizer drops that you put on. They're like $1 at the gas station and put on the phone. And it's a viscous fluid, so it evaporates very quickly. If this thing going around the world starts spreading through a local community, vulnerable people should stay at home as much as possible, particularly avoiding large crowds and poorly ventilated spaces. Now, the ventilated spaces thing kind of throws me off a little bit because I didn't believe that I thought they'd said that it wasn't possible to spread it airborne. So ventilated spaces, why? Consider ways of getting food brought to your house through family, social, or commercial networks, the advice says. Well, possible, but that could get quite expensive if you don't have family members to bring you food. Stay in touch with others by phone or email. You may need to ask for help from friends, family, neighbors, and community health workers if you become sick. Determine who can provide you with care if your caregiver gets sick. Symptoms of this thing going around the world include fever, a cough, and shortness of breath. The CDC warns that if you are a vulnerable person, you should contact your doctor if you get any of these symptoms. The vulnerable should also seek immediate care if they develop emergency symptoms, including difficulty breathing, persistent pain in the chest, confusion, bluish lips or face. Our goal is to protect you, Dr. Nancy Messonnier of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said Monday. This will require you and your family to take action. And no truer words have ever been said. Who is the one person that is ultimately responsible for your own safety? Well, that would be you. You will protect yourself like nobody else can. Well, sometimes you need assistance, yes. But part of protecting yourself is realizing when you need the assistance and asking for the assistance. Nothing wrong with asking for assistance. She acknowledged that many people won't welcome the tips, but she said these are kind of recommendations that I've made for my parents, who are in their 80s. These are recommendations they should make for everybody. Everybody should wash their hands. Everybody should be a little clean. I mean, that's just good hygiene. You know, if nothing else, maybe this whole thing will teach us all to maybe wash our hands better. It comes as families across the U.S. continue to clear out shelves of supermarkets as the thing going around the world spreads to more states, forcing some stores to ration more strictly. And there is rationing. I know that the Sam's Clubs here are rationing toilet paper. You're only allowed to buy a certain amount. There's a mom and pop store right up the road where they have limited toilet paper to 1 per person, bottled water to two per person, although I think they're already out of bottled water again. But yeah, people are panic shopping, which is causing other people to panic shop, which is causing other people to panic shop. I've said from the beginning, don't panic. Do not panic. Be informed and be aware, but do not panic. Costco outlets have begun to tighten rations that they had put on products in a bid to spread supply. Several stores reduced the number of packets of flour, sugar, and rice each customer is allowed to buy from 5 to 2 per customer. Kroger has placed limits on certain items such as cold and flu-related products to 5 per order. Footage from a Costco in Burbank, California showed customers being forced to line up outside due to the large crowds trying to get inside. The line of people with shopping carts was so long it snaked through the parking lot. Did you guys get your supplies yet? Because human nature, okay, human nature. Even if it is not a necessity to stock up on these supplies, human nature dictates that people will. People will panic. People will panic buy, which will cause other people to panic buy, which will then cause other people to panic buy, which will then cause a genuine shortage of resources. History has taught us all of this. Those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it. Anyways, that's what I got right now. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. I love you guys. You guys stay safe. You guys stay clean. You guys wash your hands. And I'll see you on the next one.